Hi, you guys. Xavier, do you want to say hi? Xavier says hi. I don't know if I've ever said this before on my live, but I have said this before to Xavier. Xavier and I have had this discussion before. So I was wondering, you know how they say that horses are big and strong and muscular? Well, horses eat hay and sometimes sugar cubes and apples and carrots, right? But humans, in order for us to get strong, we're supposed to eat protein. Protein comes from plant bases. We're driving by Northwestern. My old office is here. Shout out to all my Northwestern friends and doctors. Anyways, horses eat hay and sugar cubes and carrots and what else did I say? Apples. And they somehow grow to massive size with big muscles, strong enough to carry like a big man, you know, like a cowboy or an Indian or like a horseback rider. And in that understanding, what would be so different in the metabolism and nutritional demand for a human that we would need all of these large quantities of protein in order to gain muscle mass, you know? So I was just wondering about that. I asked ChatGPT about it. They really didn't know, or they gave me like a weird answer, but I think it's interesting. So anyways, what are you guys doing? See, I'm just working. There's been some also weird stuff with my scheduling because my schedule, typically you don't have to put yourself as a scheduled time to work, and you have your shift still, your hours shifted that you've worked in, or your hours worked that you've scheduled your shift for. But even if you don't schedule a shift, you still have those hours if you're working. And mine have not been recording the hours. So I've been working all day since like 2 p.m. and it says 0 hours, but I've made money. So I don't know. It's weird. And then, yeah, just about the horses having big muscles and being super strong with just a hay diet. Not saying that I would like to have a hay diet, just saying, you know, that it's weird. And like elephants, they're huge. They're huge and strong, you know. And what do they eat? Xavier said peanuts, which is true for circus elephants, but regular elephants in the wild, I'm pretty sure they eat like green stuff, like leaves, and like what else? Do elephants eat meat? I don't know. I don't think so. It's so weird. So, anyways, and then like if you have fish, right? And some fish eat other fish, they never grow muscles, you know? So, anyways, yeah, just wanted to come on and see what everyone was doing and say hello. Hello. And also, I've been watching this account called William Hanson, which has been etiquette, doing my best to use grammar and articulation that doesn't include swear words or like vile words in any way, or vulgar words or like slang words. so that I can be more appealing to a demographic that does the same with regards to employment opportunities and more money, because I want to buy a house. The goal was to buy a house at the end of the year. So, well, I mean, the goal was to buy a house when I was like 20. So now the goal is to buy a house by the end of the year. So anyways, have you guys seen those capsule houses that are like on 3 legs and elevated off the ground? They kind of look like flying saucers, but with legs. I always wonder about those. They say they can be delivered from Amazon to anywhere in the world. I believe the price tag was like, was it 19,000 or 30,000? I think it was, 19.9, I think. So I've done the math on this in the downtown area, and I asked ChatGPT about how many hotel rooms are there in the downtown area, River North, Streeterville, Loop, South Loop, Gold Coast. And the estimate is about 27 to 29,000 hotel rooms. And then you have apartments and condos. So there are a lot. So this should be like the most lucrative area for all deliveries. Today I had a beautiful flower delivery. So that was cool. And yeah. I don't know, downtown seems kind of really quiet and like a little bit dark for some reason. Oh, and then, did you guys know about the Lou Malnati's Gold Coast? We go there all the time. All the time. I either get orders from there or I use the restroom there. Not only is it shut down, the signage on the front of it is already gone. And I swear within the last week we've seen it like completely, functional. Yeah, still open with like, and it wasn't like a cheap like banner lighting. It was like actual like LED like, signage. So that's really weird. But who knows? It is so dark right there. Why is it so dark? That was my old office. If you guys are familiar with Chicago, you know where the Nike building is, right? You know how the swoosh goes like this? And like that tall part right there? My office from the swoosh was right here. 20th floor of the Arcus Pavilion, Suite G, as in girl. What time is it? It's 10. I scheduled myself to work until 11:30 tonight. But they only send one offer to like the far south side. It has to be something with the electric because there's a bunch of guys working here. They look like electric guys. I don't know, it's just abnormally dark. Have you guys been seeing any like weird postings about nitrous oxide in your feed? I've been getting a bunch of weird stuff on my Instagram about nitrous oxide. there was like a guy in like khakis and like a polo shirt having like, if you've ever gone to the doctor for sedation, like before a surgical procedure or like any sort of like dental work, the first way that they sedate is with laughing gas, which is like NO2. And they had this guy like holding one of those hoses discussing like all of the benefits of using nitrous oxide. And it was so weird to see because usually they're like circulating postings saying, well, nitrous oxide can cause neurological this and that. I'm not quite sure what's been going on with my socials. I tried to unfollow everyone and only follow luxury accounts, like accounts with like new EVs and like Rivian and Tesla and new EVs, but like EVs that are not your standard EV, you know, like the EVs that you open with like the new ones, you know what I mean? Where you like wave your hand on it and the door just opens, or like the biometrically enhanced ones. I really like that stuff. I just think it's really cool. Looks like there's a couple boats at the playpen still, but it looks like very abnormally dark. It's weird. That always scares me, like driving back to the harbor or the marina in the dark. There are no streetlights on the water, obviously.
They all go in a similar. There's traffic out. There's a bunch of boats. They all just go either north or south. And like it looks like a highway lane out
Yeah, true. And they have buoys. They have buoys. Yeah, that is true. Well, that is true about the lakefront. Well, like when I was a little girl and we would go on like pontoon, my grandpa had a pontoon, my uncle had like a speedboat. We would do tubing and stuff like that and like water skiing. I was always so afraid of that. My uncle was pretty good at it. My mom's best friend's husband, not my blood uncle. But yeah, when we would go by Green Bay and it was kind of just like cruising, you know, there wasn't any like shoreline to follow. Here in Chicago, they seem to follow shorelines. Do you remember like a week ago when we were where we were, like every single day, there was no music, there was none of that allowed? Why'd they change it? It was way better before. No, they like wouldn't even allow music. Like if I would try to play music on my YouTube or on my phone, they would just disconnect the ability for my Bluetooth to connect to my radio. And then even if I tried to play like regular radio, they wouldn't allow the speakers to play. And then even if I would try to play, I have red nails. Even if I would try to play the sound through my speaker, it wouldn't come through on my phone. For 4th of July, we saw a bunch of fireworks. So that was cool, but we couldn't do like the traditional thing that I usually do with the kids. And are you guys familiar with George Street and Bensonville's fireworks display by the Edge Ice Skate Arena? That's where I would take the children, my children, when things were like more normal. What'd you say? I'm pretty sure the Blackhawks, if it's not the Blackhawks, it's the Wolves that practice there. I'm pretty sure it's the Blackhawks that practice there.
Still a bunch of people.
'What time does the beach close? 11:30 or 10:30?
go there all night. We could go there late, but there's no lifeguards.
Oh, okay.
Cops still drive through.
Did you call your dad?
Let's see if he's-
Okay.
He might not be. I'll just get it to you. Or should I get the family mail?
Well, if he doesn't answer, did he go out of town?
I don't know. I talked to him periodically. I gotta call him.
Oh, I told you guys that Sprinkles closed, which was a big, huge bummer. Sprinkles is an amazing, magical place.
Can you park right here for a second?
Yeah.
Just for a second. Just-
Hold on, let me go on this side. On the Dior side.
It's these two streets. Okay.
They turned the bank into a Skims store. Oh no, the Dior side was on the other side.
It's okay. Just
Okay.
it's okay.
A left?
Let's to go back.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. And I told you guys that we were getting cupcakes from that place, Molly's Cupcakes, a few times. They were just so bland. So then I found there's another place called Sweet Mandy B's Cupcakes. They're pretty comparable to Sprinkles, I will say. So Xavier and I share one when we're feeling like sad or frustrated. And they're delicious. We share one because that's the responsible thing to do, right? And we've tried the banana vanilla frosting with 3 vanilla chocolate chips in the middle, banana cake. And then we got the red velvet, which was also delicious, but they don't use a cream cheese frosting. They use a vanilla frosting with the red velvet. So, but it was still good. Okay, where did you want me to go? A left? There's no orders coming through, and the city looks super empty. It's really weird.
I would say at this point in the summer, midsummer, a
Well,
lot of people go on vacation.
I mean, usually we have tons of conventions coming through McCormick Place. So they have the boat show, the auto show, the fishing and hunting show. They have the car show. They have the NRA, which is National Restaurant Association. They have the sweets and treats. They have the AI. They have the technology and AI. They have the radiology convention. They have all sorts of conventions. So there's really not any reason for the city to be like
This
this.
idiot is still out here.
Who?
That guy in the corner. The guy that said.
I don't know any
rich
guy on the
people-
corner.
The guy that said that told us rich people buy heroin.
Xavier, please, that's gross. Please don't include that in my content. I don't talk about that in my daily life. I don't have that around me. I don't want you to include that in my content, please. Why would you feel the need to say that? That's gross.
Just pests.
No, I'm trying to make family-friendly content so that my children can always see me, what I'm doing, where I am, so that my friends and family can have an idea of what kind of stuff is going on around me, you know, so that I can keep an accurate record.
I think they're amused.
Well, it's not really for, like, their amusement.
Well, I'm not really on camera, so it should be worthwhile. Are you going to go through here?
No, I wasn't going to. It's just dark and spooky. Oh, have you guys seen the screens at the 900 North Michigan Avenue building in the ceiling? Those large LED screens? I was thinking, oh my gosh, those must have cost so much money to install. They have a lot of them. There's like a lot of them. Like a roll of paper that are just actual LED screens. LED or LCD? LED. Yeah, LED. And I'm just going to go towards Lincoln Park. What? You don't want me to? Do you want me to park by your dad's?
No.
Okay. Um, what was that? But yeah, I've had some really weird deliveries. Like, I had a really weird delivery that I had to go to, and you know how apartment numbers are usually labeled like 1, and then next to 1 is 2, and then next to 2 is 3, right? And then like what comes after 3? 4. It was like one. They were 200 digit numbers, so like 200 to like 230 or something like that. But it was like 204, 218, 204, 205, 201. Like it made no sense. I had to like go back and forth looking for the number. Oh, that guy got confused. Oh, and oh my gosh. And then you know what else we saw today? A kitten. You can ask Xavier. A literal kitten, like a baby kitten, ran into the street across Michigan Avenue. A kitten. And a girl like grabbed it and like trapped it with her coat and picked it up on the other side of Michigan Avenue. Excuse me. And then like all these inquiries, why do you always wear black all day, every day? Oh, that's such a good question. I've been begging for a budget for pants for quite some time now. But that's because number one, the good guys dress in black. Remember that, right? And number two, it's a flattering color. And number three, if you wear it with a blazer, you can apply to higher level jobs and interact in environments that have a professional casual or like a casual dress or like a business cash. And so I can easily, maneuver from doing a delivery to like going into an office building or a hospital setting or any one of these places to make my delivery or what have you. And someone could see how I look and say, oh my gosh, she looks like a corporate executive. Maybe we should offer her a job. So that's mostly why. But don't worry, I do my laundry every week. And so my blazer is clean, as are my leggings and my turtlenecks. I have a few non-turtleneck shirts, but not really that many. And my Ralph Lauren socks are still missing, as are multiple pairs of my Nordy's crew socks. And for anyone confused, what I would do is whenever I was feeling, I know I've discussed this before, like the portal, to like a different kind of mood and vibe. And if you guys have never been to a high-end retail store like Neiman Marcus or Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom, or I just heard Saks Fifth Avenue is not open anymore, but I haven't confirmed that with my own eyes. But like one of those, they play a music that's really, it's easy listening, but it's not elevator music. You know what I mean? It's like the kind of music that's like, it's just good energy. And then, everything smells good and feels good in there. But I went over there a few days ago and I tried on some pants, and I'm actually in a size 4 now, which is fabulous. So I also have been eating only one meal a day, thanks to this healthy budget. But I feel much better at this weight, I've always said this. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. In 2026, there is literally no reason for anyone to have to be burdened with walking around with an abundance of extra weight. Like, I don't know what the most modern forms are if you're not into cosmetic surgery like liposuction, or what was that one liposuction that they had? It's not cryotherapy. That's the cold one. What was that? Like fat melting or something? Or laser? Non-invasive. So they keep the person awake. It's not even like a full-fledged surgery. And then they also have like different things on the market, like GLP medications for, various kinds of like weight management or monitoring. I really haven't done the research on them. I've never used them before. Actually, we used to prescribe a GLP-1 Victoza to diabetic patients who were not necessarily insulin dependent, didn't need like a prophylactic, so daily dose of like metformin or any sort of insulin. And it worked for a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many people have a sweet tooth. And with that, creating the sense of, I'm not hungry at all. And they don't have that struggle with having sugar or craving for it. And then a little bit of energy levels come up when you don't have all that extra weight on your joints and your hips and your knees and your elbows and your hands and your fingers. Every movable part of your body is a joint. And there's a lot of research that says that carrying a lot of extra weight actually harms your joints and causes impact, even for something as small as like taking steps. It just creates a lot more pressure on those joints. So I do feel much better this way, but I don't know. I could definitely use some a little bit more solid feeling in my thighs if I was gonna create my perfect body. You know. Have you been noticing that a lot of these stores look closed already, babe?
Yeah.
Why? They were all open yesterday. Have you guys been to the Wiener Circle? It's called the Wiener Circle.
They treat you like shit.
Yeah, they really do. Like, they're really, really mean.
Can you stop real quick?
Yeah. Why? Okay. That's like part of their shtick. It's like one of those Ed Debevec types.
There's a fat lady in there.
There is. She's so mean.
She's like me.
She was. Yeah, she is. Yeah. That place, the Wiener Circle, I never understood what a person would want to go or why a person would want to go to a restaurant, spend their money that they work hard to earn, and purchase food while people are calling you names and being awful to you. Like, what? Why would anyone want that? Makes no sense. But some people like it, I guess. They almost made me cry when I went there for a pickup. She was like, let this asshole get out of the way. So this effing lady can't, like, they're just really crude. Like, they say swear words all the time. But usually I go in there and there's like a big line of people or like a crowd of people eating there. There's also been like some really bad people in the city lately sometimes too. Like yesterday I went to Mickey D's and there was like a group of people saying like some kids. They were like, the one kid was like, watch out. I was picking up an order and the one kid was like, watch out. And the girl was like, who the fuck is this bitch? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, these are kids. I'm a grown up. I'm almost 40 years old. Don't tell anyone. But like, what? And then I was mortified. I was like, my kids better never in their life speak like that. And then today we went to Taco Bell. P.S. I love the orders that are like from El Porcelino, Ramen-san, Bombay, RPM. I've never gotten an order from Mastro's. I've never gotten an order from Prime and Provision. No, I did get an order from Prime and Provision. I like those ones too. I've never gotten an order from Smith & Wollensky. I've never gotten an order from... Well, anyways, we went to Taco Bell, and these kids were on, like, dirt bikes. They probably looked like they were 13, maybe 12 years old. And the one kid says to the other kid, fuck this shit. What the fuck? Like, all in one sentence, and the other kid looks back to him and says the same thing, like, fuck it. Or like, fuck that. Let's go. And I'm like, what? First of all, where are these kids' parents? A 12 or 13-year-old, they could not have been older than 12 or 13, on dirt bikes in the drive-thru at Taco Bell. Who allows this? It's so weird to see. I don't know, you know? And then on the next day in the city, like, all of a sudden, all the lights are back on. Everything looks happy and, like, regular. It's been really weird. It's been super weird. But, yeah. Oh, and then I found this one place called... Okay. Xavier, but hurry back because in case I get another order. Um, yeah, it's called La Boucherie, which is on Hubbard, I believe. Somewhere around that area of like where Ramonton and Porcelino and everything are. And it was like super speakeasy vibes mixed with like daylight. So if you've ever been to El Porcelino or Porcelino, I'm not sure how they pronounce it. It's the one with like a hog with like tusks on the like banner. I think it's on Illinois Street, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, they have super duper old school classic speakeasy vibes. Like it's dark, but there's candles, so it's warm. And there's like one of those old school wraparound bars. And the booths are like, you know, those like, I don't know how to describe it, just super speakeasy vibes. La Boucherie was like that, but with so much daylight. I don't know. It was just a very welcoming, but also like quiet, calm, old school, classic. It was really cool. It is kind of a bummer to go into all of these places to bring food to everyone else and never get to go in there and have the food. But I'm sure someday soon, you know, it will be my time to eat again or whatever. But yeah, it looked really cool in there. I really liked it. The energy was really cool. Oh, there was also another ramen or noodle spot that was like a daytime neon glow theme. So it was kind of like a daytime version of a nightclub, I would say, but it didn't have like very abrasive like EDM music. It had like a trendier, a little bit softer kind of music, but still trendy. And then like this bright pink wraparound fuchsia sofa. And the employees had like neon. I think that one was in Wicker Park or maybe Ukrainian Village. I can't remember. But yeah. And then I think I told you guys already about noodles and rice. Noodles and rice, noodles and rice, noodles and rice. They are the only restaurant I have found to date that has my favorite cucumber salad. It's so good. And do you know those knives that they use to cut the cucumbers that have like the designs on them that make them like look beautiful and like super fancy? And they like cut the cucumber slices and they're like, you know, like that. And they have them like that. And then they put a little bit of red onion, a little bit of balsamic. It's sweet, but it's also delicious. So good. Noodles and rice. And I got the chicken satay, which is like really tender, decadent pieces of chicken breast. Or I don't know if it's plant-based or vegan or vegetarian or if they have vegan options. I'm not quite sure. It might be plant-based protein, but I really don't know. Either way, it was so good. I don't eat salt in my diet. I don't add salt to my diet at all whatsoever, ever. I even ask for my fries with no salt. And something I learned when I was preparing myself for bodybuilding and using an NPC prep diet and prep coach, they only allow you, I think I've told you guys this before, they only allow you to use Mrs. Dash seasonings when you're prepping and if you have a prep coach. Like they tell you do not use any seasonings that have extra salt in them. You're also supposed to eliminate sugar 100%, which I did. I don't know how, but I did. And I was successful for quite some time. I would like to say I kept up that diet for close to 4 months. And my downfall was peanut M&Ms in a hotel lobby on a road trip. That was the first time that I like messed up my diet. But I was super on it. I had my 6-pack bag and everything I had one of those food scales. Anyways, yeah, it was really good. And the cucumber salad there, and it was actually really, really affordable. I got a side of white rice, and this was for Xavier and I to eat together. Chicken satay, a side of white rice. It came for free with the cucumber salad, and an order of 4 veggie egg rolls, and it was like $16. So, and it was five skewers of whether that's chicken or plant-based protein. I really don't recall, but it was really tender and really delicious. I would just say if you are a person who likes salty foods, that's not for you. Or ask them to like season it extra, because it was, for my taste, it was good, but I know that it had no salt in it. So that was good. And I don't really use soy sauce either, because soy sauce has a really high salt content. If you guys are worried about salt or sodium ever, ask for low sodium soy sauce. If you're ever getting sushi or anything like that, ask for low sodium soy sauce if you're worried about salt, because every sushi place, even the grocery store, Mariano's, Whole Foods, I've never tried at Jewel, but I know they have sushi there as well. They all have low sodium soy sauce. So, oh God, I have to go potty. Where's Xavier? Oh. Oh, and then, I don't know if I told you guys, so the phone that I was using to communicate with the court system and everything about my son, Weston, my 2-year-old son, everything I was doing in communication was on my other phone. I had 2 phones. One phone that I was using for anything that I needed, and the other phone that I was using for communication with those people. And randomly overnight, they locked the phone. I'll show you. I know I recorded this the first day that they did it. They said iPhone reset. And I think it's like 10 to 15,000 photos on this phone and like videos and stuff. And then when I click start iPhone, if I click cancel, it goes forgot passcode. I didn't forget my passcode. It just doesn't even give you the option to enter the passcode. Do you see this? Have you guys ever seen anything like this before? So it doesn't even give you the opportunity to unlock the phone in any way. And then it only gives you the opportunity to click emergency or forgot passcode. Okay, it's been like this this is my 708 number, the 708-500 number. So if I click forgot passcode, it only lets me, if I click this, look what it says. To do a master reset, forgot passcode, start iPhone reset. I don't want to start an iPhone reset. Like, it gives no other option. And then those other 2 phones that I have, I don't know. They're not letting me unlock them. And when I've gone to the cell phone stores, like, I feel like I'm on a movie set or something. It's like some guy, like, giving me some curated garbage about how they don't have any technological ability to unlock any iPhones. And I'm like, yeah, right. What are you talking about? I've lived in the city of Chicago for at least, how old am I? I was 23 when I moved here. I've lived in the city of Chicago for like 15 years at least. And typically you cannot walk in any direction for more than 2 or 3 blocks in any of the neighborhoods without there being a cell phone unlocking and cell phone repair store around you. And they openly advertise on the windows like, carrier unlock your iPhone, password unlock your iPhone, $50, $75. I've gone straight into those places and they're like, oh no, there's no way. I'm like, what? There's definitely a way. Like, that makes no sense. And then when I go onto YouTube on my computer or on my phone, I get a different answer. Like, there's actual tutorials on how to do it. And then there's no tutorials on my phone. On my computer there is. Makes no sense. So, I don't know. And then it's like, I have to tell you guys, thank you so much for all of these really loving, supportive comments. You have no idea how much this means to me. You are just the absolute bee's knees. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Just the best. I hope Xavier's not sick to his stomach. He's been having a lot of problems with his tummy lately. If you guys remember how skinny Xavier was, his tummy is huge now. I was thinking, does he have an obstruction? But I don't think he has an obstruction. I think he's just been, well, he's also been complaining about this feeling of ravenousness, like super hungry all the time. Like sometimes even when he just finishes eating one time, he's already hungry again, looking for more food. And, well, his tummy has just gotten really big. And I was actually looking at some other guys, not looking at them, but like noticing. There's some guys that have really round tummies. You know what I mean? Like, not like fat tummies, but like the tummies that, if you're a woman, you've ever been pregnant before, and you know how your tummy feels when it's like super pregnant, and it's like the skin is super tight, and is that him? No, it's not him. That's how his stomach has been, like, really bad lately, like really tight and really round. And then in the middle of the night, most of the time he's fine, but then sometimes in the middle of the night he has like the worst noises coming from his tummy. So who really knows anyways, you know? Just FTR and OTL for anyone listening. The city has a very weird vibe tonight. Not in a good way. Weird vibes. And the orders I've gotten, super weird vibes. I reported them though to customer service. Oh, excuse me. I reported everything that they did. I had one order and it was like, as soon as I arrived, the person there was like, they don't live here anymore. And I was like, okay. So then I called and, like, you know, I was Dash of the Month several times. Well, at least 2 times. And so I know, you know, how to do good deliveries and like make good notes and stuff. And when I called customer service, I was like, the people there said that they don't live here anymore. And the lady was like switching up with me, like English to Spanish. And I asked her if she could please update the delivery address if it was like in the area. And she was like, no, we can't update the delivery address. You know, you could just take it to wherever they are. And I was like, got freaked out about that. I was like, I'd rather if you could just update the delivery address because I don't want to just be out here cruising around looking for people like on the side of the street for this delivery. And I had a bad vibe at that pickup anyways. It was real weird. They had all the bathrooms closed off. They said that I was considered the public and that the bathrooms are not available to the public. So, I don't know. It was just weird overall. Oh, here he is.
Did you get another one?
Were you going potty?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't get another one. I did not get another one. Well, I'm on until 11:30, so I'll just be waiting until at least then. It was a really, this is probably, I would say, the lowest day I've had in the history of driving deliveries. I would say that. So I have multiple bills coming up, including my vehicle insurance in 10 days, and then my car payment a few days after that, and some other things like pants that I'd love to be able to invest in. And I like to be able to send my children like $10 to $20 if they need it for food or gas or whatever, you know. My son, he got a job, which I'm really happy about. And he does coffee and like serves donuts, breakfast sandwiches, other pastries, things like that. But if he, you know, as a child, they're not really like making that much money. And if he ever needs gas money or like extra money for lunch, I like to be able to send it to him. So that's concerning, you know. But overall, I would say everything that's been going on, numerous lines of interrogative lines of questioning regularly. Very stressful. Minimal amounts of peace while I'm doing anything other than sleeping mostly. Last night, I had a really good night's sleep. So, and I really needed it. But I'm like not good at being really exhausted after those several years that I wasn't able to sleep regularly, like having to take like 2 or 3 days without sleeping and just being so exhausted that I could just barely open my eyes. I haven't been able to stay up for one night since then without feeling so tired. And then like my voice gets like this, like really raspy and exhausted sounding. And so I've been trying as much as I can to at least give myself 8 hours, you know. There's a book called with PTSD called The Body Keeps the Score. And the book talks about like how your body and your nervous system hold stress and manage stress. And there are also like other kinds of descriptions of this. I don't know if you guys have heard of Reiki or if you go to church or if you believe in like the higher power or whatever you believe in. But supposedly, and this is the same general basic understanding for many different cultures and groups, but it's called something different. It has like a different name. And I've done Reiki and I've gotten massages and like stuff like that. It is really good for PTSD and like anxiety. Really good, especially if you have a history of like sexual trauma or physical trauma, because when you have a history of like physical trauma or sexual trauma, you tend to like hold your energy in. If you ever like feel afraid that someone's going to like harm you, what's your reaction? You don't even have to think about it. Your body just tenses up, you know, and you tense up. And when your muscles are tensing up like that in anticipation of like harm, there's this philosophy, or I don't know if it's called a philosophy or a theology or a belief, whatever it's called, but like your trauma is stored in something that they call samskaras. And a samskara is basically a blockage. Oh, hold on, you guys. I got it. So anyways, it's okay. It is basically when, if you think about the chakras are basically believed to be your kind of pathways and passageways for energy to safely be guided through your body. You have your chakra in your head, which is your, I don't know what that one's called, root chakra maybe. And then you have your throat chakra, and you have your there's a chakra in your crown chakra is your head. Your throat chakra is in your, like, you're right here, like in the area where your chest meets your throat, where your voice box is. And then your heart chakra, and then you have one in your tummy, and then you have one in your, kind of like by your butt. And those are the chakras. And there are belief systems, and they talk about this in regular religion also, like Western religion and philosophy and all of these like theologies. But it's basically the understanding that when you store up stress, as we refer to it in Western medicine, it's called a sanskara in this energy understanding. So the point in clearing it is that you remove the blockage with regards to your energetic flow. So when you're healing from a trauma, or you're getting better from a trauma, or you're becoming whole again from a trauma, using high frequencies like bells or sounds or massage, like safe, gentle touch, they've all been a proven effective method for handling these sorts of issues. I don't know why I thought of that or what brought that up, but I really would love to have a massage, you know. I have a lot of like blockages in my back. It's also part of athletic massage or bodybuilding and so many other just understandings. I was also discussing about how I felt like modern Western medicine, insurance companies and things of that nature, if they historically have defined the number one killer as cardiovascular disease, and the number one cause of cardiovascular disease being stress, then it would seem only natural and smart, you know, that reducing stress would be the best way to cure heart disease. And if we can't exactly reduce all stress immediately, the best way to do it would be to allow pedicures and massages to be covered by insurances. So that's just what I think. I don't know. There was actually one time recently that I did have a pedicure that did not feel good. It was actually pretty painful. I had an ingrown toenail on my foot, and it was not really the best feeling. But typically, after I have a pedicure or a massage, I feel, 100 times better. So hopefully they will start approving those for insurances, but who knows really. Or the Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan initiative to cure all diseases, conditions, and illnesses by 2126, I think, or no, 2100. I think it was 2100. They said by the end of the century, they realistically project that it will be possible to cure, prevent all diseases or conditions. So that would be phenomenal. But until then, I just feel like they should definitely consider offering pedicures and massages through insurance. Especially for people like my father. Like I was talking about this earlier as well. My father in the past, he had spinal stenosis and degeneration in his back. And he kept on going to get treatment, and they just kept on giving him medicine, like pain meds, And I went with him as like a medically literate person, and I asked them, like, what's the plan here? What is the plan? Medication management for pain, like narcotic medication by prescription for long-term use, is not really a plan. Is there some sort of intervention that can be used? And I really feel like physical therapy and massage therapy would have been really, really great options. But they probably were not covered by his insurance. I really don't know why they didn't offer that, I'm not quite sure. So anyways, all right, you guys, I just wanted to jump on here and give an FTR and see how everyone was doing. It's been a weird vibe day. Super weird vibe day. Super dark in the city right now. I do not like it like this at all. And hopefully tomorrow it will be more light and normal. And so, yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys have a great day and night and etc. and so forth. So, all right. Have a good night, you guys. If my children are watching, I love you so much. I miss you so much. And please call me soon because you know that I worry tremendously when I don't hear from you. And if the girl who found the kitten ever sees this, did you keep the kitten? Was it a kitten? Because it kind of looked like a kitten, like box hybrid or something. Xavier said it looked like a ferret, but it had a bushy tail. So anyways, good night, you guys.